Can wait for viewers. Actually, close up it is, and they really have been looking at. But let's just say this. I can't keep looking at any longer, but let's just say this. I'm glad that I've been good. I mean, people, I tell ya. That being said, okay, so I found two that we did back in the day. I was mentioning a little earlier. I've only been rolling this one for about 2 minutes. Okay, and I was about to start singing. Nice looking in my direction because I think Jonas has been there that long. He's not gotten up and started barking at me, so thank you. I'm hungry to eat a little bit more shortly, but he's been up there for about, so I'll say, let's just put this. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple songs. If you have any songs, let me know. I'm really sorry if I don't read comments. I'm not seeing them. Otherwise, I'll read them. Because the previous one, it said there was 32 comments. I counted about 18 that I knew of, maybe 15. So just going to open this audio. Now the radio's on. I just don't want to get it turned off. And apparently viewers can't necessarily hear it anyway, so. But this is right beside the device, so. Hello, Caden Elder. You're back. I don't think we've ever met before, but welcome. Either that or you were watching before but didn't say anything, or your comments didn't show up. And just because someone's comments, I'm seeing some of them, doesn't mean that we'll see all of them. I mean, it seems to hide comments sometimes, but if I see them, I'll address them. Okay. Okay. No, there's two others. There's two others, but I've only been rolling for 3 minutes. It doesn't matter as long as you're having a nice time here. Then that's the main part. I actually do quite like the first name that you have, by the way. Doesn't sound like you do, but yeah. And Elder, is that a last name, or are you? Is that a religious meaning to that? Yeah. Anyway, this is a cover song I did ages ago. Can you hear the radio? Thanks for the like, by the way. Can you hear the radio? I should have got the speaker, but I think he was using it. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a. Okay. That doesn't sound like a name that's trying to get me to say something weird or something wrong or whatever. I don't understand the shout out culture these days, but hello to Bella Molly. It's a neat combination of names, actually. Funny because I was recently thinking a couple times of somebody and they have a dog named Bella, and I know somebody with a dog named Molly. So, anyway, we got 4 of you here. If you have song requests, feel free. So much life changing was it for you? Some people are easy to please, but hey, that's good. It means I don't try so hard. Well, not that I'm trying hard. I'm being pretty natural, but it means that's all I have to be. That's all you have to be. Brother T. Well, I prefer to use a nicer word about them, and it has been a little while, but I'm fine in my life, and I do appreciate, people that are attractive, not just on the outside, but that too, but also otherwise. My phone is going on now. Hate when this happens. Well, plug it in then. I'm at 74% myself. Um, but yeah, and I'm not gonna mention that on here. It is YouTube. You can call me Leading Healing. You can call me C, or you can just join in the conversation. Um. Okay, sounds good. Okay, I might struggle to not say your full name because I'm reading what I'm seeing on the screen, and I'm surprised. Because it's not exactly big font, but I guess I'm not so old. Well, I'm not that old, but I'm not so old that my eyesight. Although sometimes. Anyway, I really do like that first name though, but I understand we don't always like our name, which is why I go with something else. Brother T, how are you? So, how did everybody come across the channel? And is it your first time here? Um, and I'm gonna sing this song. I don't know if it's the full one or not, and hopefully you don't hear the radio. And this is as loud as I think I'm going to be able to get it otherwise. It's really just a song. Well, I think the original was written, uh, written or performed by someone who had their son in mind, but it's kind of, you could say, kind of just a general like uh, hopeful and inspiring kind of song. So not very loud though. So maybe you can hear the radio so you can listen. Every road you roam, sunshine and happiness around you when you're far from home. May you grow to be proud, dignified and true, and do to others as you'd have done to you. Right here. Be just and be brave, and in my heart you'll always stay forever young, forever young. Shining light be strong, stairway to heaven with the prince of vagabond. And you never love in vain, and in my heart you will remain forever young. I'm also thinking of a 32-year-old friend that passed away about a year ago. Oh, ever young. Hi, Queen Stella. Bit of irony in the name. I'll say it in a minute. Young. I'm gonna focus on the song for a moment. Can you hear it? Okay. Hi, Jack. It's kind of funny. CFC. How are you? We're just talking about somebody with that first name, and I was just talking about Estella yesterday. Not a name I hear very often either. All the wisdom of a lifetime. But whatever road you do, forever young. Go for it, second. Forever young. Forever young. Ever young. Why are you gonna let it be more than a second longer than the song? It seems to have better audio for some reason. my hair was so long that still you wish you had, or girl you wish you could reach. Bring that back into the couch. Had that idea the other day, but didn't go very far with it. The whole world is on your case. I would offer you my roots. Oh, to dry your tears for a million years to make you my own. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. But the moment that we met, there's no doubt in my heart where they belong. I go strolling down the avenue. I do most genres, not all, but most. That I would do. Make them feel my love. The ukulele is pretty good. So you hear the bass better because it would have been in an amp. Queen Stella and that's the key, still there. It's really different between a hen and a turkey. And a slightly personality could have been a good music group. How's everybody doing today? Make your dreams come true. You're to the edges of the earth for you. Make you my love. Make you my love. With the variety, I remember that. Does anybody have any song requests, or is there anything laying on your heart that you'd like to talk about? Don't know what that noise was. Sorry if there was a funny sound in this a little earlier because I just came to it on my other device and I heard a noise that I didn't make. Since I've been sitting at the couch the whole time I've been doing this, 15 minutes almost. So I haven't been in the kitchen. So yeah, song requests, anything weighing on your heart you'd like to talk about, I'm here to chat. And really sorry if you're putting comments and I'm not reading them, it means I'm not seeing them. Most likely. Sometimes YT is doing that, not too sure why. But yeah. Sometimes numbers are less than what they actually are, too. Oh, that's just silly. Wish there was something better on the radio right now because I'm having a bit of a quiet moment waiting for the next comment, and I could use some song inspiration. Song inspiration. I just don't know if I'm. There's a song I played a few times recently, about 3 or 4 times in the past week. Twice, at least twice on here, maybe each time, and I'm just not too sure if I still feel like doing it. It's not a terrible song. It's apparently a lot deeper than I ever knew it was. You kind of go to that too, but that's probably not gonna happen. And this one, which is the one I just recently put in. Just looking at my other screen for a moment here. Whoops. And yeah, are there any goals that, and Kate, I really think that's a great question. It could be very motivating and inspiring, but it's also just, and I could be able to help other people with theirs, and maybe them with mine. That's why I was asking it, but if people don't want to say it, then they don't want to stick around. Yeah. So I'm just looking at my other screen, but I'm watching this one too for comments. If I see them, I'll address them. I could probably close this one tab if I decide whether I still want to try and be in a music group or not. Like, it would have worked out if she hadn't gotten the second job, but that's fine. It happens. These days, you kind of need a second or a third job. You can remember to be there with your family too, but with the cost of things, I tell you. So if he was up there since 2010, or at least 10, it's about an hour. So I'll give it another 20 minutes. And hopefully there'll be some nice activity happening soon, and that will hopefully intrigue him to come downstairs. Although he's a little under the weather, sometimes it's just a feeling you have when you first wake up, but that's usually if you have a cold, which he does. But maybe he just had a mild one, and he actually had slept it off mostly, and then it kind of, the symptoms can go a little bit maybe. So if he's feeling up to it, hopefully he'll do some stuff on here as well. And then I'm looking forward to brunch because I really haven't eaten much. I think I did have most of my coffee though, but chapstick if you're curious, and if you're not, and I haven't eaten yet. So it helps with that. Speaking of which, well, I still haven't eaten very much yet, but when I do, I'll have this. Because I don't think it's going to be, well, actually, that's with the cabbage and the bacon, so it might be. Maybe I won't need that. I don't know if I'm one of those that, apparently it can be a thing, that, well, I mean, I don't have the most expansive diet, but some people, they can eat well and still not get the needed vitamins. But I've often wondered if, just like pills, if vitamins are a bit of a placebo, but or like if they actually help. But I think I've noticed a bit of a difference. Like it may have actually improved my neuropathy a little bit, and just that weird drained feeling I was feeling. So, so yeah. But um, I think it makes more sense to have them. I mean, that means I'm not taking them daily, but when I'm not eating as well. So, and yeah, we got some items today, but just a few. The usual stuff too. So, I'm just looking through a song list. If you have any song requests, feel free to put. I appreciate a like as well. If I see your comments, I'll read it. I've been rolling for about 20 minutes ish. And there's been a bit of comments. One person was here and they had to plug in their phone and said they'd be back. Um, I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know whether to see this as a troll or not. Like, this person seemed to really only stay just to like get a shout out, and I don't understand. Like, I guess it's a self. I mean, we all can be a little bit, and should be a little bit, whether we're content creators or not. But especially as content creators, I mean, I'm not saying that that's like your you know the biggest attribute, that or thing, but and I guess if that person was uncomfortable with me not saying my name, there's that symbol with it, but I mean that comment makes enough sense that I think that's probably what it said. Um, and then I can look past that one. And yes, some people just may not have either got it typed before the device died or just, I don't know. I know what I think about king and queen mentality. I mean, the royal family is a different thing, but like somebody says, I am the queen. I am, you know. But princes, on the other hand, princesses. Um, and because of, I can't remember. Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking through some songs. Did anybody? I don't know if he's just kind of got one music hit under, under his belt, so to speak, and is otherwise just in movies. But does anyone know? Did anyone know that Eddie Murphy has released a song? And that's a lot of sevens. Why are we saying that? Um, Hiamzi. Can you tell me what that is? Because it seems to be popular these days, and I've heard two different things. I mean, it sort of looks like you may have even already left. So you just came in here just to say that? I'm not trying to be rude, but I mean, it's obvious. So I'm just looking through some songs. Um, has anybody ever seen the movie Sing or There's a Soul? If anybody's put in a comment, I might just not be seeing it. But so far, there seems to be kind of more trolls. Uh, yeah. Yes, I mean, that song is still special because of Kathleen. But um, it's kind of mixed feelings about it. So I think we just got a second like. I think it was at just the one like before then. We're at about 25 minutes into this. Sometimes the algs help more than other times, and sometimes people are available to watch and that more than other times. So, and there's different time zones too, and not everybody stays up late. But anyway, I'm glad that the looks like this actually is two people here, and I'm glad that you're both here. If you're commenting, I might not be seeing the comments. YouTube's hiding comments a bit. It seems like, much as I love YouTube, it's weird that it's doing that. Like the previous video I did, it said there was 32 chats, and I could remember, and I had just wrapped it up, and I could remember about 15, 18 or so, maybe half. Yeah. So it's kind of like I don't know what's going on there, but all I can say is keep trying, and if you're trying to have a decent conversation and be a good person and not a troll, keep trying, or maybe come after it's posted and comment underneath. Thing I've noticed is sometimes I'll do that, it doesn't show up right away, and then later I'll go back and see that I tried like 4 or 5 times and it shows 4 or 5 of the same comment. But sometimes it's not wonky, but sometimes it is. I think I'm gonna have more coffee. I don't need to have it with my brunch. All right, yeah, but oh, you want some coffee too? Do you? I see all the hearts on the screen now. Um, Let me just go back to this screen, see if there's anything showing. Oh, yeah, see? Uh, Now I'm seeing a bunch of ha-has, though. I don't know what you... Did you mean to hit the heart? Did you mean to hit the ha-has? What's funny? I guess it was kind of funny when I said, would you like some coffee, too? Jesus is the way, the truth, and life. Have faith not in our words, but his holy work on the cross. Let's say both. But not too sure why I'm not seeing that on my other device, though. Coffee. I'd like coffee. Okay, whoever's laughing, I don't know what's so funny. So that's really weird. Sometimes it seems like it's a translate thing, actually, because on my one device, the one person that asked about woman, let's just say that. Oh, wait a minute. No. Sorry, I'm confusing them. What is your name? um, okay, so I was looking through a playlist here. It'd be nice to maybe have something to go into the kitchen and sing while I'm making the coffee, or heating it up rather, and then pouring more of it. Or so I get one, and then yeah, hopefully in the next 45 minutes to an hour, I'm having brunch. I'm looking forward to it. Celebrate! What are we celebrating? Somebody having a birthday or something? Come on. Be able to do some palm reading there. There's a couple songs that I was showing in this playlist I'm almost tempted to do, especially one of them, but I know how it could be construed. And that one that the other person, I'd rather say more about that one if that person who told me about it shows up. But so let's go make some coffee. get some coffee. I like this song. I don't know what it is. This video is not set to. This particular video isn't set to monetize. What is this? Oh, never mind. It stopped. It was the one that went do 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 do, and it sounds like a keyboard, maybe. I should have brought my charger. So the viewers help make the experience by commenting lovely stuff. I really don't know what's so funny, but it almost seems like I don't know, hysteria. If there's something that you'd rather watch, that oh, thanks for the hearts. Maybe you're just hitting the wrong ones, because the hearts seem a good choice. Yeah, anyway, so every now and then I'll get ideas as to what to incorporate into this, but with this particular video, it really is based on, how the chat does and what people want to talk about, what songs they want to hear. And that'll make it what it is. While it's happening, and that's fine. Just fine. I do have to run upstairs for under 5 minutes, and I think I will check and see how G's doing up there and see if he's going to be joining us soon. So we got 3 of you here, and I hate to go off the screen right when you get the 2 of you got here, but I will be very quick. So again, if you have a song request, if there's something weighing on your heart, I know that some people may hear me say this often, but despite struggles kind of getting more in the industry and more opportunities, it's called a light. It just doesn't have the cover on it. And yeah, I'm still mixed about using it. G is not as much so, but the light bulb, I don't remember if it was on or not, but I think it was. The light bulb popped off of the thing that you threw it into recently. Glad to have you back, by the way. I must say, I want to make this very obvious, Oliver. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the likes and I appreciate the comments. And I know we are a bit familiar with each other, but I must say I've been getting a little bit of mixed signals from you lately. Again, if you're going through something, open up and let me see if I can give you some advice to help you. But it's just I noticed that you haven't been staying very long as long as you sometimes do, and you haven't been quite saying as much as you sometimes do. But anyway, yeah. So basically, but yeah, it popped off, and I'm worried there's some problem with the circuitry. But he just put a new bulb on it, so I don't know. And luckily, it wasn't glass; it's plastic, so that was pretty easy. Behind that, I'm not talking about the light. We had a bit of a leak a while ago, and I think we put a bit of tape over it. That might be what you're talking about. That's an understandable enough question, I guess. Or are you meaning something on top of the fridge? And you've met G a few times, I believe, right? I'm going to go see if he's ready to join soon. And yeah. Okay, well, I understand that. If you open up a little bit, we're not here to judge. It's a safe space, and we all go through stuff, with that kind of thing, I would say, to some degree, to some level. So tell me what's going on, and I'll see what I can, I do a bit of life coaching too. So, I've always wondered if people would wonder about it, to be honest. Because, I sometimes it catches my eye too. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be right back. So I'll let you open up, and anybody that is rude to what you say won't be won't be sticking around. Okay. Yeah, I got ADHD. Same. Same. You know, and I was actually just talking a little bit before you got here on live stream. No, these are salty. About autism spectrum. Bipolar would be something really hard to diagnose because we all, even if I have to watch the dog doesn't get these because salt. Even if you're a middle-aged man, even you know, everybody has a range of emotions. Like, how do we manage them? How do we stabilize them? How do we treat other people while we're going through a hard time? That's what really matters. Comes along with it, right? Yeah, and you know, it's kind of a thing that's a mutual. You know, I don't like how I prefer the other packaging than these. Anyway, so let's go to the other device and see if there's any comments that I've missed that aren't showing here. And if they don't show on either, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I have it set to show all comments. Somebody did say that maybe their YouTube was hiding like essentially trolley ones, but it certainly doesn't do that other time. So, I mean, I guess maybe it just can't catch them all. So I kind of want to do some music. So if you can be a little less vague, like what are some specific struggles that you're struggling within that? And then to the others, whether you relate to that or not. So I'm just having a to the others, whether you relate to it or not. What is the goal that you've been trying to reach? Have you reached it? What's making it a struggle? Feel free to say without shame how long you've been trying to get to reach that goal. If you have reached it, inspire us, help motivate me and the others that are here. And if you haven't reached it, maybe we can help you. Other than that, I don't feel hugely musical, but I could do a song or two if I got a request that I liked. Now it looks like it went from 4 people watching to 1. And if that's you, Oliver, even more of an opportunity to open up a bit. Chat only shows during the, well, sometimes it does. And also, I am about 45 minutes in. But even if there wasn't, you know, Even when there's more people here, you're welcome to say more. Hello. I'm gonna watch the comments on this screen because I have this over here at the moment, and it feels. No, I can put it here. What the heck? Laptop works as a pretty good tripod too. Hello, Farn K. Can I swear? Well, all of us can, but why do you ask? Oh, really? Interesting. What does it look like? I think some people swear a bit too much. I think like every other word being the F word is, or every few words being the F word is maybe a bit much. And to me, that kind of thing brings out it brings out I don't want to say it brings out aggression, but it brings out um like especially like I'm not around it often, but like, and there was somebody I remember from my grade school, like, one of the fellow students who did it quite often. But last time I don't remember what we were talking about. I don't even think she was like annoyed by anything. It was just the way that she talked. But it kind of stirred up some emotions in me where I was like, hey, can we use this energy towards this? Because like, and I started going on, but there are certain things, times or things in life that make you kind of be like that, right? But I don't think it's that funny, really. Well, this is mostly, I want to keep this pretty much a 18 plus channel. You're only 8 and you swear to your parents, though. Like, I mean, I feel like I should address that. Why? Why do you do that? And don't say because it's funny. You've already said that. And I mean, there are sometimes legit reasons to do so, perhaps even to parents, like if you don't have great parents. But I don't know if somebody at that age is really at a good spot to be judging that kind of, or to be determining that kind of thing. So that was weird. I don't know. He was like saying, "I swear to God, I swear on my life that this is how William." Or what? Speaking about spirits in the head and parents. I feel like I just kind of, yeah, we don't hold that grudge anymore. We know that, he was just trying to manage me the best he could. And I mean, to had all the workers, I mean, I really, he didn't get a lot of practice, and work was far away from him for so long. And if I would have known he was going to pass away, I would have been a better kid. But, I know we don't hold that grudge now, you know. Maybe I did for a while, and every now and then I still kind of feel it, or at least I acknowledge it. But yeah, it's not helpful or healthy to think it. And I know G sometimes says that about mental health. Speaking about that, Oliver, are you still there, by the way? But doesn't mean that we won't have thoughts sometimes, you know, and therefore feelings. Some people say that feelings aren't thoughts, or thoughts aren't feelings, or whatever. I don't know. I don't really agree with that, but for the most part. But yeah, so basically, G said he'd be here in about 15 minutes. So, but yeah, so um, and we have to acknowledge those thoughts or feelings, and try and work with them. By the way, if you're commenting and I'm not reading your comment, I might not be seeing it on either of my devices. Even with all selected, I know I mentioned that occasionally, but I just want people that may not have heard me say it yet to know that. So, if you do have somebody watching right now, I notice. So, hopefully, you're watching happily with positive thoughts, that you're appreciating what I'm speaking about, even if you're not in conversation or they're not showing up, like say. If you're thinking negative, judgmental thoughts, though, like there's other things you can watch where you wouldn't think those things. And I mean, that wouldn't that be more pleasant? But I'm here to try and make things enjoyable and pleasant for those that are here, including myself. Um, as somebody said in the stream I was watching briefly earlier, make somebody's day a little better, brighten their day, make them smile. These are great things to keep in mind. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but you know. But he also kind of alluded to, well, there's always tomorrow. I mean, there's no guarantee with the fragility of life. How long any of us, you know, have in it. But most likely, unless there's a strong reason why it wouldn't be the case, you know, yep, tomorrow's an opportunity to try again, to have better, and even if we don't feel a strong amount of hope within that, it does bring hope, I think. So I hope it did for you. But I'm hearing a song on the radio right now that makes me think of somebody who, because I think I sang or almost sang a particular song at karaoke, and she was actually hosting it that night. But I don't know if she hosts karaoke all that often. But and she was at the funeral for another friend of mine who definitely did, from the ages of like 18 or 19 to early 30s. But then she passed away in her early 30s too. So, and so this person was at that funeral. So it's interesting that I just heard that song as I'm saying what I'm saying. Right? And also I was dating a girl in Africa for a while. Around the time when I did karaoke more, actually. And then there's New Justine, ironically. Just looking at my other screen because I'm not seeing any other comments coming in right now. It's a little bit quiet at the moment. So when I'm bored, I get looking at some other things. But it's a topic. It's definitely something to remember and to think about, right? And lately, every now and then, I'm out and about or I get other opportunities, but lately it's on YouTube. That's where the opportunities to make someone smile and brighten someone's day are. Thank you for the 5th like. That makes me happy. I'm glad that I said something that made you happy. Hopefully you'll join the chat. At the moment, the chat's a little bit quiet. And I need to take a bit of a breather, so I'll give you a few moments to join in. If you'd rather just give a song request, I could maybe do some music. If there's something weighing on your heart, I always want to be here for people for that, to open up, to not feel shame, to not feel embarrassed, to not feel anxious to do so. It's a safe space to do so here. So, and I make sure of that. And when I have mods here helping, they help. I could actually, if anybody wants, I'd rather be a bit more familiar with you first, but I could actually stand to have some mods. I have some, but A couple of them aren't online very often, and I've lost one or two. You've been out for your walk. You have food. You have water. You were outside just an hour or two ago. He likes the snow. He would like it if we could always have snow, I think. But we're looking forward to spring. I think that it was pretty obvious what was like. I was going to ask, just out of pure curiosity, just to kind of gauge it a little bit or whatever. I was going to ask what was specifically liked by that fifth liker, but I know exactly what I was talking about, and I think it was obvious. Just the concept of that. And how do I do it? Yeah, by being here to support people and give them advice when they open up. That's the key thing. By doing music. And then every now and then I'm kind of philosophical, or I'm talking, even if somebody isn't asking specific advice, I'm saying something that might be helpful. So, yeah. We live somewhat close to a school. And so the area, especially during the week and the school day, is often quite a bit busy. Oh, yeah. And I put that there. You know what? No, just please go upstairs to remember that I have to do something I don't want to do. Thank you. Well, that worked. I hope he doesn't go. Let me just make sure doors are closed so he doesn't go into them and get into things. But the sun is shining. I should get outside. I haven't really been out 3 days doing much because we haven't had great weather and I haven't had anything to do. I haven't had a lot of money, although I might be getting a check soon. Yeah, I've got kind of there, do it that way. Sorry. We've got kind of Saturday, whatever day the 18th is, and then one other day not much past that with plan. Otherwise, things up in the air. I know he's going to want to play some music when he gets down here, though. I think he's slightly under the weather, but I think he's feeling well enough that he probably will. So I don't want to rush us to eating, even though I don't think he's had much to eat today, and I haven't had a lot. But, and actually, I wouldn't want to put this in front of him to do any music with the way the screen looks at the moment, because I had to remove some comments. Although he could take a look, and I think he would agree that, that what that person was saying, and actually I can unhide them, or at least a few of them, but they're still in what that person was saying was not really the energy that we I don't know. Again, I can understand. I mean, like, if somebody truly does have bad parents, and you're too young to move out or whatever, then hello again, Equestrian. Welcome. How are you today? How's your holiday going? What time is it there? Then I mean, yeah, it's understandable to be frustrated, and when you're frustrated, sometimes you might cuss, but just to be talking like a hoodlum just because it's funny, as he said, is just, if that's the case and the parents are trying their best, and I'm sure they're looking forward to when he's old enough to say, sorry. Yeah, thank you for coming back. Did you hear my couple of questions? Equestrian? Also, I think I showed them the other day. Maybe that was just the stuff along the wall here. But this morning I showed, but then not only was there some slow moments, but there was also, I can't remember why I decided not to to keep it posted, but I showed some horse pins, horse, like things to pin on a jacket or whatever. And I think I've decided which one I'm going to get, hopefully sometime in the next week um, or so. And guinea pigs are watching that. That's more irony, because so am I. Just kidding. I know I was thinking about it a couple of weeks, not because I'm not past them, but I just was. And I was hearing about the hamster song the other day, and I don't know the difference between the two. And I was just looking at Eddie Murphy. I know he's got a movie where there's a dancing guinea pig or hamster, but what are their names? And parrot thing, and they put them down and they just walked off behind stage. I'm sure that's what they came there to do. No, but I actually saw a couple of since connecting. It was kind of funny. Later that day, I was watching Got Talent again, and I actually saw two different ones where they actually brought a couple of horses onto the stage. There wasn't much room when they did the drone thing. They brought everybody outside, but that especially made sense. But it may have made sense to have brought the horses outside too. Instead, they just had them on the stage. I was kind of surprised. I think they had something down on the stage. Luna, we know a dog named Luna. Jelly Bean, interesting. Pilvia, as opposed to Sylvia. And moose, a mouse. Well, they are considered a rodent, eh? There's a story. Okay, it looks like it's just you here now. So, whoo. I mean, not that I was, but the other two weren't saying anything. Funny story. So, a while ago, I, speaking of my brother's band the other day when you were here, a while ago, I came across somebody who, speaking of bass too, said he was the best bassist. Her favorite bassist. I mean, it makes me wonder, how she's not paying attention to the other ones. I mean, sure, maybe he was good, but I mean, I can't remember because I didn't. Anyway, it was so long ago in that. And the one time she said the cockatiels were watching my video when I did a song, actually kind of inspired by my brother, which I did a few days ago, and I don't know what's going on with what was his name, Caleb. But anyway, and she said the cockatiels were watching, but I read it as cocktails, like she was drinking while watching. And I said, this is kind of a serious song, so maybe come back when you're sober. And she's like, what? I'm telling you, my birds are watching. I was like, oh, okay. In other words, stay and have a chirpy time. I didn't say that at the time, but and then the other thing, there was somebody that rescued a bird from addict home, and they made it sound like the bird was an addict, but I don't know if that was true. But and then I used to have an ex that had a hamster named Jumping Jack, I believe. But I said it's a hamster, and I like to talk to it about my hamstrings because I'm goofy. But yeah, but I ain't gonna holler back at that girl. But anyway, so yeah, that's my hamster stories. 4 hamsters is a lot of hamsters. 4 hamsters, and how many horses did you say you have? Sorry, I'm maybe speaking quicker than you can keep up with, so I'll slow down. I actually feel kind of slow. I've done about an hour and almost 2 hours with a little break in between of streaming today. It's only almost noon here, and I was able to sleep to about 8. So, wouldn't have minded if it had been a bit later, but I slept decent. I want to actually open this up for some fresh air. Ow. Equestrian, you're being a bit quiet. Again, sorry if it was hard to keep up. I guess I could talk a little bit. I'd have to think about it for a moment because it was, I think, 2008 or whatever, so quite a while, about my trip to Australia. I have mixed feelings because I'm not as close with my brother as I could be. It's not that we have issues with each other for the most part, although there's been a couple of messages recently that have kind of kind of made me feel iffy. But I mean, geographically and otherwise, we kind of aren't as close as we could be. But me and my brother. But what did I do there? I mean, I was on a budget and I was only there for a week. Sydney. And we went near the Opera House, and that was interesting to see that it was sections. I thought it was a big building that just had a funny ceiling that I just dramatically acted out with my hand and sent you over there as I did so for a moment. What else did we do? We did go actually horseback riding, trail riding at something I think was called the Blue Mountains. Um, I think it was within Sydney. It certainly wasn't that far a drive, although funny story. I thought I'd have to think a little bit and would give you opportunity to answer some of my other stuff, and hopefully you will. And if you have, I'm not seeing anything beyond your hamsters' names. YT might be hiding things. But anyway, point of the matter being is it was a very twisty road. He was driving his mother's car, and I got a little car sick. But what else did we do? We went to a couple of the beaches, of course. I don't remember going to that many restaurants, which was weird. But my brother is big about home cooking. He likes trying different recipes, and I honestly don't remember all that much that I ate while I was there. But I was there for almost a week, so I'm sure I ate stuff. I wasn't that adventurous. One, because of cost. Two, because I have no interest in eating alligator, ostrich, kangaroo. And you would think that do they eat kangaroo there? Because you'd think that would be one of their national animals, and they wouldn't do that. I remember once we had one of the kookaburras, and it was sitting up there quietly, and we sang the song to it, and it was like one of those quiet viewers at the top that there sometimes are. It just sat there. And I was like, well, that was disappointing. The one time I see one in real life, you know. But other than that, at least I think it was real life. Just kidding. Yeah, and I stayed in the coolest place. It was next to like a backpackers house or whatever, and it was this room. It had a big living room, quite a big kitchen, and nice bathroom with really nice black tiles. And then it had like a loft. You climbed up a ladder, and there was the bed there. And it was it was a rental unit that they rented out to travelers. I think we went to a museum because I know I remember pictures from that. It was like an animal museum, and we went to an aquarium that you could walk under. Other than that, I don't know. We went to a club, saw a singing competition. So that's a few things. It doesn't sound like a week worth of stuff, but. And then I spent some time by myself at the suite I was staying at, and I spent some time at his apartment, but not that much. And I can't believe I didn't seem to get to know his girlfriend more at the time. I think she must have been working quite a bit, and maybe she was on a work trip or something for some of the time. Because I think I only met up with her like 2 or 3 times. I guess it would have been a little bit awkward to still have a connection with her now since they're not together anymore. But anyway, so that's my Australia stories, and I think that's about all of them. Equestrian, are you still there? You're being rather quiet. And if you're not, like I say, if you are putting further comments and it's only showing some of them, I welcome you to come back to this video later, in an hour or so. I'm sure I'll be wrapped up and having brunch and taking a rest for a few hours. And you can put the comments underneath the video, and I'm sure it'll show up there then, even if it doesn't look like it at first. Anyway, I could tell that there was a religious troll there for a moment, plus the channel name's a little bit odd. Please turn to God. It's a loving warning. Eternity is real in His will. I know. You're breathing right now. God is giving you time to repent. Okay. So, okay, I'm taking a bit of a breather and I'm waiting for the next comment. Whether it's a song request or topic request, something weighing on your heart. We're getting close to, not that it's all G plays, but it is his specialty, his forte. We're getting close to the portion where you might hear some classical piano. So be ready. Grab yourself a beverage and a munchie. And yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. If you are still here, equestrian, it's very interesting that you're choosing to spend your holiday, watching live streams, but I'm happy to have you here. Um, and then it went to zero. But I mean, at the same time, it's possible that, you know, been they've been out, done a few things. Now they're back relaxing for a bit, waiting for the next plan, and this is how they relax. Because if they're anything like me, they don't really like reading books, and maybe they're not someone who would live stream themselves. And so, yeah, I mean, heck, it's nice to have the company, especially when things are a little bit quieter. So I'm slightly feeling a little lightheaded though, because hosting for this one an hour and then the other one almost an hour. Uh, but it was kind of quiet and there was some trolls. There was a few return people, but yeah, basically it does take a lot of energy. But I don't have anything else I'm exactly doing, and I'll do other stuff later. There's nothing that pressing. There's nothing that I feel with great certainty would help me reach a goal. So I kind of, I saw an article said something about how why people above 70. I can't remember exactly what it said, but basically it said that they're just more relaxed. I mean, I guess they figure at that time they've either done plenty or they've lost hope that they'll get to. Some of them anyway. But yeah, it is true that it's kind of a more of a younger person kind of struggle, right? Where we're just trying to, I mean, for some of us anyway, we're just trying to live our best life. We're trying to reach goals, sometimes with not as much ease as we feel or as we should have. Um, and yeah, when you're motivated to try doing stuff, you will, and when you're not, I mean, yeah, part of me thinks sometimes you should try anyway, and then other times I'm thinking, yeah, and it's also knowing what to try, right? So, and I know that I talk about being a support for others, and sometimes that's easier than for ourselves. Um, we're too stuck in our own situations, whereas somebody else's situations may have some obvious things that might help that the other person just isn't noticing. Um, and at the end of the day, as the person on the radio has a song about being human, at the end of the day, you know, we're all human, and it's not always easy. So, but if we can try and make it easier for each other, if we can try and thank you for the sixth like, if we can try and help each other out where we can, even if it's just with a little bit of conversation and company and a like. And again, if anybody's putting a comment, since Equestrian naming her hamsters, I haven't seen any, except for that one troll. But yeah, you know, like as my friend Kim was mentioning the other day on here, it's kind of like we may feel like, we're struggling in our own life or we just don't have the means to help, but there's usually something we could do to go volunteer. But again, if it's accessibility, if we're not finding places that have a need or something that's easy to get to or something that would be the right fit, I mean, that can happen too, right? But that's where I would say, whether you live stream or not, that you can still be a good presence in someone's day, and that can make a great difference. You can still, yeah. I don't know if I need to say it differently, but there is one thing that I was just reminded of now about maybe trying a different approach to something, which is I have sometimes asked, sometimes often lately, if there's anything weighing on your heart that you'd like to mention. I think people know understand what I'm asking in that. But a lot of people have the mindset of not wanting to be first. That being said, it's not like I hold back that much, of my thoughts and feelings. But when I say that, maybe they think to themselves, well, you first. And those moments, maybe I don't. And it might be the way that certain people are, you know, say, I don't want to be first, but if you are first, then I will. So I hope G gets down here soon because I'm getting tired and I'm getting hungry. But so basically, and kind of warm, even though the door's open and that screen's open a little bit. But and just before I said that, mentioning my friend, I do have something I wouldn't mind asking input or advice on. But the one there, D-Mark. If somebody doesn't give it to me now, then I think I know what G would say. I think I know what most people would say. But I can't say that with certainty unless I ask, right? Um, but I do have someone I'm going to be talking to Saturday, so I could wait till then. Kim, I suppose. I think that she kind of is feeling that it would be lovely if that would work out, and maybe at some point it will. But I feel like she's asking me to give the family a bit of space. Not that I've been approaching them or anything, or sending them anything, but like what I'm wondering is if, like, I guess that's in about a week. Is that uh, does that suffice enough then? Because the reality is that this friend is always going to be in heaven now. She isn't coming back, other than when she visits spiritually, and um, um, it's always going to have moments where that's tough for those, especially those that were even closer to her, family and friends. So I mean, it's just like I sometimes think, oh, if I talk about someone or I talk about, those I've lost, and what if it triggers somebody else? Well, I mean, it's something we can all relate to. And as far as talking about the particular individual, I can't remember specific examples, but you know what? I'm sure that if somebody felt connected or was connected enough to a person to, feel that grief, me mentioning it isn't going to, and I know I got some good emails, isn't going to, be the caveat or whatever the word would be, to it not to the person not crossing their mind, like I'm sure that some people when they go through losing a loved one, and sometimes years later even, they'll still say, I think of them every second of every day. And I mean, I'm not being mean or whatever when I think that sounds like a little bit of an exaggeration, but well, she looks like Jingo. But but certainly you'll think of them pretty often, and it can be a deep and painful thing, but it can also be a special, and like you can smile and laugh remembering the good times, So I mean, honestly, I think that we're always going to do a bit of both, and that it's finding some sort of balance, whether it's an equal balance or not, who knows, but yeah. So, well, I would hate for, there's a part of me that would hate for him to be rolling, and it's not because during the day, because everybody's in different time zones, for him to be rolling, and then a bunch of people come in, and him not want to wrap up, and I'm ready to have brunch together. And I've been ready for the past hour. Um, so it might be a good time to wrap up now, to be honest, since there's not, uh, it's been showing one person here for quite a while. But yeah, it doesn't look like you're saying anything. Now it says two. But other than that, yeah, it's been unmotivatingly quiet for the most part. But I understand maybe that the equestrian person that came in, had been watching other stuff or only had a little bit of time, and like I don't know exactly what time it would be in Australia, but I'm gonna guess maybe 2 a.m. So she may have just went to bed, you know, at that rate. Did we just get an additional like? I can't remember if it was at 5 or 6. If so, thank you. But I do think, though, that I've got to run upstairs. G is still not downstairs, so he's been gotten sidetracked, I guess. And I'm low energy. Legit, he is under the weather. That's why he's not at work today. He might be feeling decent. But so I think I am going to wrap this up. And I'm sorry to the second person the first person hasn't really said much. So, I mean, again, if I hate to keep repeating myself, but it makes so much sense. Like, if you're having negative, judgmental thoughts about me, what's something you'd rather feel that would make you feel more positive? I mean, I know that's not my fault, you know, but otherwise, I'm not sure why I'm not seeing comments. Maybe you're not putting any. Maybe you're just enjoying listening. Maybe you're listening while you're doing other stuff in the background. So that's fine. As far as the second person, who I think gave a like, if you didn't, please do. If you did, again, thank you. But yes, I'm going to wrap up in just a moment here. But I do welcome you to check out some of the other live streams. There's been some very good and special ones lately. And yeah, even if you don't watch all of them, watch a little bit, comment your thoughts. I sure appreciate it. And I'll try to get back to them. Sometimes YT isn't always letting me know about them, but I kind of look at the content myself, a little here and there. Sometimes it's because G wasn't around when I did it. And it's like, you missed all this great stuff. I want to show you, you know. And other times it's because, yeah, I wonder if maybe I've not been shown something. So I'm fairly good at that, and I would do my best. So, yeah, I hope to hear from you. But I'm going to wrap up now. So I hope that you have a great rest of your day. And anytime that you feel like you need someone to talk to, want a little bit of company, or think of a song you'd like to hear me do on the next stream, come and let me know. Okay, take care and bye for now.